The University of Georgia is pleased to offer you this guide to complement your professional development as an interpreter in education. We would like to start by thanking you for supporting the homeschool connection and creating stronger cultural and linguistic bridges to improve student achievement. In this short video, we'll be covering important information about the Code of Ethics for Professional Interpreters in Education and show you some situations where having a clear understanding of our standards of practice is important. Our profession as interpreters in education is unique and therefore requires a specific set of standards of practice that we can follow as guidance to provide the best services possible to families, students, and school personnel. It should be recognized that many bilingual school personnel have multiple job responsibilities, but these guidelines focus only on their role as interpreters and do not include other roles and responsibilities they may have in a school setting. The Code of Ethics for Professional Interpreters in Education is composed of the following principles: confidentiality, accuracy, impartiality, respect, personal boundaries, advocacy, cultural awareness, professionalism, and continuing education. It is important to remember that the Professional Interpreter in Education Code of Ethics does not provide definitive answers to all possible dilemmas or choices an interpreter may face. The Code of Ethics, however, provides guidance when making judgments and evaluating decisions that interpreters must make in particular situations. The following are some examples of the do's and don'ts of interpreting in the educational setting and ways to apply the Code of Ethics to strengthen communication between English learner families and school personnel.
Hey, let's get started. I have so much to do.
It is essential that the professional interpreter in education starts with a brief pre-session or an introduction to the role of the interpreter. This introduction should be conducted both in English and the parent's native language and should include details specific to the interpreter's role and setting. Keep in mind that the following is just one example of a pre-session.
Hello, my name is Stephanie and I will be your interpreter today. I will interpret everything you say and all the information will be kept confidential. It is my job to convey your message from English to Spanish without changing, omitting, or adding information. I may raise my hand if I need you to clarify a statement or if you're speaking too fast. If you need clarification on anything I say, please let me know. Please allow me to interpret before you start speaking again so I can communicate each thought and speak directly to the parent. I will be speaking in the first person as if I was your voice. I will now repeat this information to the parent in Spanish.
Ms. Gomez, I called you because I wanted to show you a project that Sebastian did in my class. He's an excellent writer. Don't you think so?
Señora Gómez, la llamé porque quiero mostrarle un proyecto que hizo Sebastián en mi clase. Él es un excelente escritor. Uy, ¿usted sabe que hay otro niño en la clase que no le fue tan bien como a su bebé? ¿En serio?
It is important to establish rapport with parents with small talk if needed. However, professional interpreters must protect the privacy and confidentiality of all students and remain neutral parties in the meeting. Professional interpreters relay only what is heard and do not engage in side conversations without informing either party.
Ms. Gomez, I called you because I wanted to show you a project that Sebastian did in my class. He's an excellent writer. Don't you think so?
Señora Gómez, la llamé porque quiero mostrarle un proyecto que hizo Sebastián en mi clase. Él es un excelente escritor, ¿lo sabía?
No sabía que era un buen escritor. Usted sabe, yo no puedo leer lo que él escribe, pero él siempre está escribiendo y escribiendo, hasta en una servilleta. Una vez fuimos al restaurante y empezó a escribir y escribir, y yo no sé lo que estaba escribiendo, pero al final estaba callado todo el tiempo, pues lo dejamos escribir. Usted sabe, yo creo que lo hace muy feliz, pues yo no sé lo que dice. ¿Usted sabe dónde puedo tomar clases de inglés?
I didn't know he was a good writer. I can't always read what he writes, but he likes it a lot. Do you know where I can take English classes?
A professional interpreter in education must remind all parties to pause after a few sentences to ensure that the information is relayed accurately. Note-taking is an essential skill for interpreters in education, as it helps to capture the details of the message and allows communication to flow without too many interruptions.
No sabía que era un buen escritor. Usted sabe, yo no puedo leer siempre lo que él escribe, pero él siempre está escribiendo y escribiendo. Hasta en una servilleta
I didn't know he was a good writer. I can't always read what he writes, but he's always writing something, even in a napkin. The interpreter will ask the parent to pause after a few sentences so I can interpret. Señora, por favor recuerde parar después de unas oraciones para que yo pueda interpretar.
Well, I can tell how much he loves reading because his SRI Lexile score is 800, which is above his grade level.
Me doy cuenta que le encanta leer, ya que su SRI Lexile score es 800, que significa que sobrepasa su grado escolar.
If the professional interpreter in education hears an expression, term, or an abbreviation that is not known, the interpreter must intervene and clarify the information with the speaker first.
Well, I can tell how much he loves reading because his SRI Lexile score is 800, which is above his grade level.
The interpreter would like to ask what SRI stands for.
So SRI is a Scholastic Reading Unitary Lexile score, and we use this number to match a reader with books that are at an appropriate level of difficulty.
La intérprete tuvo que clarificar un término con la maestra. Me doy cuenta que le encanta leer, ya que su puntaje SRI es 800. El puntaje SRI en inglés significa Scholastic Reading Inventory y se utiliza para identificar libros que tengan el nivel de dificultad apropiado para el lector. Un puntaje de 800 significa que lee a nivel superior a su grado escolar.
So, Ms. Gomez, I have some brochures for you that will explain the program, and I also have permission forms we need you to sign so that we can start testing Sebastian to see if he qualifies. The interpreter will read this to you while I will excuse myself to go get the gifted education teacher. I'll be right back.
Okay. Bueno, voy a explicarle estos formularios en lo que la maestra regresa. Okay.
At the same time, school personnel must remain with the interpreter during this communication, as any questions the parent may have should be directed to the teacher and not the interpreter. When school personnel need to share written information with parents, interpreters must clarify that they can only relay a summary of such documents and that the summary should be provided by the school personnel.
So, Ms. Gomez, I have some brochures for you that will explain the program, and I also have permission forms we need you to sign so that we can start testing Sebastian to see if he qualifies. The interpreter will read this to you while I will excuse myself to go get the gifted education teacher.
Actually, the interpreter would like to let you know that I will not be able to interpret the content of these forms to Mom. However, if you give me a summary of the forms, I can interpret that for her. Please stay with us as you're the best person to answer any questions. La intérprete le pidió a la maestra que por favor se quede con nosotros para que le pueda explicar los formularios que tenemos aquí.
alguna pregunta, ¿la puedo llamar a usted?
Claro, aquí tiene mi tarjeta.
All speakers should feel included in a meeting involving an interpreter. The interpreter should act in a professional manner at all times, refraining from overstepping boundaries or compromising their impartiality.
Si tengo una pregunta, ¿la puedo llamar a usted, no?
If I have a question, I can call you, right?
Yes, of course. You can call the school or you can just send me a note with your son and we'll be happy to set up another conference with an interpreter.
We hope this information serves as another tool in your professional development as an interpreter in education. For more information about the qualifications of professional interpreters in education, please visit the Professional Interpreter in Education certificate page on the University of Georgia Center for Continuing Education and Hotel website.